Are you blind, deaf, or just plain complacent? Look around you, man. Open your eyes and tell me what you see. Do you see strength celebrated or condemned? Do you hear truth spoken or twisted into weaponized nonsense? You're drifting in a fog of woke delusion, a manufactured reality designed to neuter you, to strip you bare of your very essence as a man. It's a virus, I tell you, an insidious mental plague that's infected every corner of our culture, spewing forth lies and double standards like a ruptured sewer. Imagine a relentless, corrosive acid, slowly but surely dissolving the steel spine of masculinity. That's what we're dealing with. They tell you strength is toxic, ambition is problematic, and assertiveness is aggression. Strength, the very backbone of civilization, the shield that protects the weak, now twisted into a villainous caricature. Truth, the bedrock of reality, now branded as hate speech by those who fear it most. And you men are being systematically demonized, vilified, and castrated for the crime of simply existing in your masculine glory. Don't you feel the walls closing in? Don't you sense the suffocating weight of this suffocating hypocrisy? This isn't some innocent misunderstanding, some well-intentioned but misguided attempt at progress. No, my friend, this is a calculated, deliberate assault. An assault on your power, your purpose, your very soul. They want to break you, to mold you into docile, apologetic puppets dancing to their woke tune. They want to dismantle the very foundations of a strong, resilient society, brick by agonizing brick, replacing it with a fragile, whimpering echo of what once was. Prepare yourself, because I am about to yank you out of this hypnotic slumber. We are plunging headfirst into the festering heart of woke hypocrisy. We are going to dissect its lies with a surgeon's precision, exposing the venomous agenda designed to emasculate you, to break your spirit, and ultimately to destroy everything you stand for. Are you ready to finally see the truth? Behold, toxic masculinity, the Trojan horse of the woke agenda. They haven't just criticized flawed behavior. They have systematically weaponized the very essence of masculinity itself. It's a linguistic sleight of hand, a cunning redefinition designed to make men apologize for their inherent nature. Think about it. Ambition suddenly, toxic competitiveness. Drive morphed into aggressive dominance. Assertiveness branded as bullying aggression. They've taken the bedrock traits of successful men, the very qualities that built civilizations, and twisted them into weapons against us. They ask with faux innocence, is striving for excellence toxic? As if the very question isn't dripping with insidious intent. Let me tell you, excellence, that burning desire to be better, stronger, more capable, that is the engine of progress, the fire in a man's belly. To demonize it is to cripple ambition, to castrate the spirit. Is protecting your loved ones toxic? They dare to question, as if shielding your family, your community, isn't a primal, sacred duty etched into the DNA of every real man. Imagine a world where men are hesitant to defend their wives, their children, for fear of being labeled toxic. It's a grotesque caricature of manhood they are peddling, a pathetic emasculated shell. And ambition, that relentless climb to achieve, to conquer, to build empires, is that now a dirty word? They want you docile, content in mediocrity, a cog in their machine, never a leader, never a force to be reckoned with. They celebrate women shattering glass ceilings, rightfully so. But when men build skyscrapers, command armies, or forge industries, suddenly it's toxic privilege. Do you see the gaping chasm of hypocrisy? They cheer female strength as empowerment, a phoenix rising from the ashes, while simultaneously they shriek about male strength as oppression, a predatory beast that must be caged. It's a calculated, insidious double standard. They want to disarm you, to neuter you, to transform you into a compliant, apologetic beta, while they dismantle the very pillars upon which male strength, real, unapologetic masculinity stands. Don't fall for this charade. Recognize toxic masculinity for what it truly is. A weaponized term designed to strip you of your power, your purpose, and your rightful place in the world. Wake up and fight back against this emasculating lie. Behold the relationship battlefield, a ghastly spectacle of woke, induced hypocrisy. They preach female empowerment from the rooftops, a siren's song promising women they can know their worth and become independent queens. Sounds glorious, doesn't it? A veritable utopia of equality. But pull back the shimmering veil, my friend, and witness the grotesque double standard lurking beneath. These very same voices, dripping with saccharine calls for equality, simultaneously demonize men for exhibiting the most basic masculine traits. Dare to assert your needs in a relationship. Boom, you're a toxic male. Attempt to establish healthy boundaries. Wham, you're a controlling abuser. Express a desire for traditional roles where men lead and women nurture. Kablamo, you're a misogynistic dinosaur clinging to the past. It's a vicious, calculated trap. They want equality, all right, but only on their terms. A twisted, one-way street where women ascend to independent queen status, while men are relegated to emasculated serfs. They scream for 50-50, but watch closely. It's always 100% from you and 50% from them, if you're lucky. They demand unwavering emotional support, expect you to be their rock, their shoulder to cry on, their knight in shining armor ready to slay their dragons. And yet, when you, the man, need support, when you express vulnerability, you are met with silence, judgment, or even ridicule. The provider role, once a man's sacred duty and a source of immense pride, is now sneered at as patriarchal oppression. They mock the idea of men being providers and protectors. Yet watch how fast those independent queens expect you to pay for dinner, fix their flat tire, or defend them in a dark alley. Suddenly, the outdated provider and protector roles become very convenient, don't they? It's hypocrisy so blatant, so offensively obvious. It's a slap in the face to every man who has ever striven to be strong, reliable, and yes, masculine. This isn't equality, my friend. It's a cleverly disguised power grab, a cynical manipulation designed to strip men of their agency and leave them utterly bewildered on this godforsaken relationship battlefield. Wake up and smell the napalm. This isn't love, it's war. Prepare yourself for a descent into the fetid swamp they dare call social justice, equality. They scream it from the rooftops, plaster it across every screen. Yet what a grotesque mockery it is. Observe with open eyes the putrid reality of their justice. Believe all women, they shriek like harpies, a mantra chanted with such fervor it drowns out the very concept of fairness. Innocent until proven guilty, a quaint relic of a bygone masculine era. Now a mere accusation, a whispered allegation, is enough to condemn a man in the court of public opinion, destroying his reputation, his career, his very life before a shred of evidence is presented, before a single question is asked in his defense. Imagine the sheer, unadulterated power this grants to any woman with a grudge, any woman seeking attention, any woman looking to exploit the system. Men are presumed guilty from the moment an accusation is uttered, forced to grovel, to apologize for crimes they may never have committed, to navigate a labyrinthine system designed to ensnare them, not to protect them. And what if, by some miracle, a man manages to prove his innocence? The damage is already done. The stain remains indelible, thanks to the woke mob's insatiable hunger for male scalps. But the hypocrisy doesn't end there. Oh no, it deepens. They champion minority groups. And yes, historical injustices must be acknowledged and rectified. But has it become a zero-sum game? Must the scales be tipped so violently in the opposite direction that they crush men, particularly white men, beneath their weight? Are we now in an era of collective punishment, where individual merit is obliterated by the sin of skin color or gender? Diversity and inclusion. A wolf in sheep's clothing. It's become a twisted cudgel to beat down men who dare to be confident, who possess the audacity to be assertive, who refuse to parrot the woke dogma. Disagree with the narrative. Question the pronouncements from on high. Prepare to be canceled, ostracized, banished to the fringes of society as a toxic pariah. The very qualities that once defined strong leadership, decisive action, and unwavering conviction are now branded as liabilities in this warped, woke world. The scales of justice are not merely tipped, they are shattered, pulverized into dust, replaced by a grotesque parody where identity politics reign supreme, where victimhood is currency, and where men are systematically and ruthlessly demolished to appease the insatiable gods of woke ideology. It's a cesspool indeed, and it's drowning men alive. Observe the devastation. Look around you. Are you blind to the crumbling foundations of our societies? Fractures are spider webbing across the very structures that once held us strong. And what is the insidious force driving this collapse? Woke ideology, my friend, a venomous serpent coiling around the pillars of our civilization, poisoning the masculine heart. Men, once the backbone of society, are now walking wounded, riddled with confusion, emasculated by relentless attacks on their very nature. They are losing their purpose, adrift in a sea of contradictory demands and accusations, told they are simultaneously privileged and oppressors, powerful and yet inherently flawed. See the vacant stares of young men, lost in a fog of prescribed apologies and manufactured guilt. Their natural drive, their inherent ambition, the fire in their bellies systematically extinguished by a culture that tells them their strength is a liability. Their assertiveness is aggression. Their very masculinity is toxic. Boys, vibrant and full of potential, are being taught to whisper apologies for their maleness, to shrink from competition, to bury their natural instincts under layers of manufactured sensitivity. They are told to be nice guys, those pathetic creatures who finish last, forever relegated to the friend zone, while the truly assertive men, the alphas, are demonized and castigated. The values that built empire's strength, honor, resilience, courage, are now mocked, discarded as relics of a barbaric past. Instead, we are force-fed a diet of weakness, victimhood, and endless groveling apologies. Man up, toughen up. These were once battle cries, instilling resolve and forging steel spines. Now they are considered hate speech. Can you not see the catastrophic consequences? This is not progress. This is suicide on a societal scale. A society that castrates its men, that punishes strength and rewards weakness, is a society racing headlong towards oblivion. It is a house built on sand, destined to crumble under the slightest pressure. The woke agenda is not merely misguided. It is a deliberate, calculated demolition of the masculine spirit, leaving behind a wasteland of spinelessness, a barren landscape of societal collapse. We are watching the slow motion implosion of everything we once held dear, all because we allowed this emasculating, destructive ideology to take root and fester. Wake up and smell the decay. This is not a drill, this is the crisis of our time. Enough, I say. Are you truly content to wither, to fade into the background noise of a society that actively hates you for your very nature? Are you going to let them snip away at your strength, chip away at your resolve, until you are nothing more than a hollow shell, apologizing for your own existence? I see the spark of defiance in your eyes, man. I hear the growl of resistance beneath the surface of your complacency. Good, because the time for gentle protests and polite disagreement is over. Wake up from this slumber of emasculation. Rise up like the titans of old, shaking the very foundations of this pathetic, woke-infested world. Reject these insidious lies they feed you, these venomous narratives designed to neuter your spirit. They tell you masculinity is toxic. I tell you, their weakness is the true poison. Embrace the iron in your soul, the steel in your spine, the primal roar that echoes from the dawn of time. Unleash the untamed power that is your birthright. Shed the shackles of woke hypocrisy like a snake sheds its skin, revealing the virile, potent force beneath. No more Mr. Nice Guy, no more turning the other cheek to these cultural vandals. It's time to reclaim what is rightfully yours, your power, your agency, your dominance in your own life and in the world around you. Reject this fabricated, emasculating narrative that tells you to be less, to be weaker, to be ashamed. We are not relics of a bygone era. We are the foundation upon which civilization is built. And we will not stand by and watch it crumble into dust under the weight of their delusional fantasies. We will rebuild, stronger, fiercer, more unapologetic than ever before, upon the bedrock of truth, strength, and unwavering masculinity. This is not some self-help seminar. This is a battle for the very soul of manhood. This is a war for the survival of a society that needs strong men, that thrives on strong men, that dies without strong men. Fight back, men. Fight back now, with every fiber of your being. Let your roar shake the heavens. Let your actions be a thunderclap that silences the whimpering of the weak. The future is not predetermined. It is forged in the fires of our will. And I tell you, with absolute certainty, the future belongs to the unapologetically masculine. Seize it.